Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to create an iOS plugin for face biometric authentication or finger biometric authentication for the Godot game engine. Now I have already made one video previously, like how to create an iOS plugin step-by-step guide. So if you haven't watched that, please watch that, because in this video I won't go in depth of how to create an iOS plugin. This is mostly about face authentication or biometric fingerprint authentication for creating a plugin for Godot game engine. So let's see. So I'll quickly go over all the steps which you need to do. I have created a cheat sheet of a sort because there are a lot of steps. I can't remember each and every step. So firstly, install. Make sure you need a macOS, obviously. For iOS, install Python, Xcode and sconce. For sconce you can install it via homebrew, like brew install sconce. Then you will have to create a folder, name this folder and whatever you want. You don't have to name it as work, so I have named it as workspace. Okay, inside that folder create a folder called plugin. I have already created that. Then inside plugin you will have to open your terminal, cd to your plugin folder, and then you will have to run this particular command. So it will clone the Godot engine source code from GitHub. Then you will have to, once that is done, you will have to cd to the Godot folder. I have already done that. And then you will have to run this particular command. So this will generate the iOS header for us from Godot game engine source code. So just run this particular command. Once that is done, so I have already run this command as well inside a terminal. Then you will have to open Xcode. I have already opened. Select iOS, select create static library, click next. Here you will have to select your own team, give it some name like biometric. So okay, but you can give, now be careful with this name. Whatever you give name over here, we will have to refer the same name in lot other places, so be careful with what name you give. So be consistent with your name. Then you can just click on next. Now for creating the project, again you have to go to the plugin folder and click on create. Then I will be copying a lot of code which I have already done. So here, once this project is created, we will have an header file as well as a Objective-C file. Now I will be copying a lot of code which I had created from my previous video, because there is a lot of boilerplate code which you have to write. I will show you what all changes you need to make. Firstly, we will have to create a file called underscore module.h. so for our case it will be biometric underscore module.h. so I'll just quickly create that file over here. New file, header file, click next, and it should be named as biometric module.h. I'll click on create. You don't need to append h because it is already an header file, right? We were creating. Then we have to create an Objective-C file. Just remove h over here. I'll click on next and I'll click create again. Then we have to change the extension to Objective-C++, so .mm. Same for this particular Objective-C file as well. Once that is done, I'll just copy paste this code from over here and paste it out to our biometric module. So I'll just paste it over here. Okay, we don't require this, so I'll just take this and paste it over here. Then I'll take this biometric, name as biometric, so change this arithmetic to biometric, and over here as well we'll have to change, everywhere we'll have to change arithmetic to biometric. Then we'll go to arithmetic module.mm. I'll again copy paste it. So we'll go to biometric module.mm. I'll paste the code. Again I'll copy paste biometric. So here we want biometric module. Okay, here we want biometric, here we want biometric. I'll make the B capital, and here also we want biometric. Here we want biometric again, here we want biometric. So just copy paste this over here and over here as well, over here, then over here, over here. I'll take this, I'll keep it over here. Okay, let me just check if I have copy pasted. Yeah, everything seems fine. This is lot of boilerplate code. Even if I don't understand any of it, even if you don't understand, that's fine, I think. Then we'll have to create this header file. Now here we will have to make few changes, so I'll just go over here. Okay, I'll paste the header file. Here again we'll have to change everything from arithmetic to biometric. So I'll just biometric, okay, over here. Then I'll change it over here as well. Then this is fine, and here we have to import local authentication. Now this is an important part. So for biometric authentication like face or fingerprint, we have to use this local authentication. This is library is already present in iOS itself, so we are importing it from iOS. We do, and next we again require biometric over here as well, biometric, okay. Then over here, and here we have to define all the methods which we will implement in Objective-C++. So currently we don't need this. We require two methods. One is get available biometric, second one is authenticate, which will, so suppose like my iPad device has fingerprint, it does not has face recognition. You might have face and won't have fingerprint. So first we will get the available biometric. Once we get that, then we can use this authenticate method. If there is no biometric available, then what is the point of authenticating? Then here also I'll change the biometric name over here as well as over here. Again, this is all boilerplate code, don't worry too much about it. Then here we'll have to copy the Objective-C++ implementation. Okay, so I'll just go over here and I'll paste all the code. So first we don't require this is fine, and here it should be biometric, okay. We don't require this. Here again it should be biometric with B capital. This should be biometric as well. This is biometric, this is biometric, here is also biometric. I'll make the B capital. Biometric, this is biometric as well. B is small, sorry. This is biometric, and here is also biometric. And here I have few signals. So one is for authentication result. Once the user has successfully authenticated via the face biometric or the fingerprint biometric, then we want to send some message. So we will send some string message. Like I am not good in Objective-C++, that's why I'm keeping it as string. There might be boolean, or you might be able to say boolean value as well, true or false. You can play around with that if you want to. And I'm not sure what this result is, but yeah, from the source code which I have learned, there was this thing, that's why I have used it. Then there is this error message signal also, which we will be using. Same data type is string, and this is message. Again, I'm not sure what this message is. I have created these three signals, and one for biometric data, just in case like what all available biometrics are there. It is also of data type string, and we are sending like, again, I don't know what this is, okay. And here we'll remove this. Now if you see our header file, we had these two methods, get available biometrics and authenticate, right? So we have to register those two as well, get available biometric, and here we are using that, and authenticate, and here we are using that. Then we have to write the implementation. So I'll just tell you the implementation from what I have understood. So here we are getting the get available biometric. This method is only available from iOS level and above, so we have to add this particular bit of code, even though I have changed the deployment target. So if you see over here, yeah, thankfully that reminded me of other thing. Here you will have to go to iOS deployment target, change it to whatever you feel like suppose I want to support all devices from iOS 16 and above, so I can change it to 16. Okay, then again I'll go back to my code and I will have to add this particular check. Then we are using this LA context, which is like local authentication context. This is a variable for error, and then here we are evaluating if there are any biometrics available or not, because it could be that a device has face or fingerprint, but the user is using passcode or password and has not enrolled in face or fingerprint. So that could be a case. So if we can still evaluate, then we write a switch case. If the user has not enrolled in anything, we just send a signal saying no biometric found. Then for this, if there is touch ID, that means fingerprint is present. If there is face ID, I am sending face. In case of anything else, I am just saying unknown error. And here if the evaluation fails, then also I am saying biometric not available. And if for this particular if else, here you can see he say that it is not available on iOS, below iOS level, but here I have just not available, something like this, not available below iOS level. Then for authentication, again don't worry about this, like you might be seeing lot of Xcode errors, but this I think is an issue from Xcode, even though these are not really errors. Again we are getting hold of this LA context, one variable for error. Then we are doing this device owner dot authentication with biometric, and here we are just showing this, are you the device owner, like this is just a text, you can write anything over here. And once the user has authenticated, we come over here, so we get a success. I'm sending the success signal back. In case of error, I'm sending an error message back to the user. In case if the authentication fails, then I'm just sending you are not the device owner, something like that, but maybe you can write a better error message than me. And here authentication is failed, then also I'm sending an error message, and we also don't need this. So that's it for the iOS part, static library. Let's go back to our cheat sheet. So I have shown you this, this is done. Okay, let's see. Okay, next what you will have to do is we'll have to go to build settings. So firstly go to your project, go to Godot, go to plugin, go to Godot, go to platform, go to iOS, and then you will have to copy this path till iOS. Then you will have to go to your project, targets, build settings, search for header, search path. Okay, why is it not showing? Okay, I have to click on all, header, search path, and here you can see you will have to enter that particular path. So as you can see, I have entered the path. So you just click on this plus button, enter the path, click enter, and then just press outside, and here your path should be set. Then the next step which we have to do is we have to close Xcode completely. So I'll just click on quit. So Xcode has been closed completely. You will have to go to your workspace, like this particular plugin folder which I have created. Then inside this particular plugin folder, what I'll do is I'll click on this biometric, I'll click on this Xcode project, and I'll make sure I'll just drag it outside this particular folder. Okay, I'm not able to drag it. Okay, and here you can see, now I'll click on this. I don't know why we have to do this, otherwise later on to generate the plugin I faced lot of issues. That's why I'm doing this, because that's how the setup look like when I was checking on how to create a plugin. Also, you will have to take this or 4 files and move it over here. Now you have this extra biometric folder which is over here. Just delete this. Okay, then what we have to do is we'll have to create a plugin. In plugin folder we have to create arithmetic.gdip. okay, so I'll open one more file. So we have to create this particular file. Okay, so just copy paste which you see, create a new file. I'm using VS Code, use whatever you feel like. And here instead of arithmetic we have to write biometric over here as well. Okay, here also, over here as well we have to write this, and also over here we have to write this. We are making use of this local authentication framework. That's why in system we have to write this local authentication dot framework, and inside plist we need to make use of NS face ID usage description. Even though if your device has fingerprint, still you need this particular permission inside our info.plist. Then we can just save this particular file as biometric.gdip. So as you can see inside our plugin folder, I have created this. I have just saved our file called biometric.gdip. Then we have to create one more file called sconstruct. Just create a file without any extension and name it as sconstruct. Now here we'll just have to copy paste this particular code. Now I'll paste all this code inside the inside my description. Like I'll paste a GitHub link, so you can just copy paste this code. In case I forgot to, let me know in the comments. So again, like I have just copy pasted it from my previous video, and we'll only have to make few changes. So instead of arithmetic we will write biometric. Okay, over here, let's see where else. Okay, over here, and over here as well. I'll just save it. So this file is saved inside inside our plugin folder. Okay, let's go back to our cheat sheet. So we are done with this. We are done with this as well. Okay, then we'll have to create a folder called bin inside our plugin, and here we will have to go to our plugin folder and we'll have to run something like this. Don't try this command. Like, this is for simulator, it is not working for me. Like, this will generate a .a file for you, but when you try to export your project from Godot, it will throw a lot of errors. So I'll just open my terminal. You will have to cd to your plugin folder. So I'll just okay, this is my plugin folder. I'll just drag and drop, and then I'll run this command. So once I run this particular command, it will so if you see, the bin folder is empty, but it will generate a .a file for us. Okay, it is throwing some error. Okay, yeah, inside the command this should not be arithmetic, right? This should be biometric. So you can just run this particular command, but make sure instead of plugin equal to arithmetic you write plugin equal to biometric. Now I have made some silly mistakes. Like, here instead of arithmetic I should have made it as biometrics. I have opened my source code again inside Xcode. Okay, I think hopefully you haven't made the same mistake over here as well and over here as well. Oh sorry, this is okay, why I'm typing arithmetic. This should be biometric, this should be biometric, this should be biometric as well. Okay, let me just check if there is any arithmetic inside my project or not. Okay, there is no. That's why I'm getting this error while generating the .a library. I'll run this particular command again, and hopefully it should be able to generate. Now as you can see, after running the command again, I'm able to see the .a file inside my bin folder. Then I have created a Godot project. Now this Godot project can be anywhere, just don't put it inside your plugin folder. Rest you can put it anywhere. I have just put it outside my plugin folder. The first thing which we have to do is create a Godot project. Okay, we'll have to create folder called iOS. So I'll go over here, create a folder called iOS. Then we'll have to create a folder called plugins with an S. Okay, so here I'll just paste it. Then we'll have to copy the .gdip and the .a file from our plugins folder. So I'll just take this .gdip file, I'll paste it over here. Also inside our bin we had this .a file. Oh sorry, I pasted it from my previous project. I'll just remove this, that's why I got confused, like why still it is. Okay, so this, take this biometric.gdip iOS plugins, paste it over here. Also go to plugin bin, copy paste this particular .a file, go to your Godot project again, iOS plugins, paste it over here, and here you will have to change the name to biometric.a. Once that is done, here what you will have to do is, okay, we'll have to go to export add. So go to your project, Godot project, export, add iOS, click fix import. Firstly, to get the App Store team ID, you can go to this particular URL which I had shown last time as well. So this particular URL will help you to guide where to look your team ID. Also you will have to give your bundle identifier, so I won't show my team ID to you. So give it something like your company name or something, whatever you feel like. Mostly it is your company name some your app name or game name. And here inside plugin you should see biometric if you haven't made any mistakes, so add that as well. Thing which I have done is that so I have entered my App Store ID and I have closed our export page. Then here inside UI I have just taken a Node 2D, 2 labels and 1 button. I have attached one script to it. So here you can see I have made reference for our label. Then I have created one variable for biometric, and here we are just checking if we have that biometric plugin or not. Yes. Then I have registered all the 3 signals and I have created 3 separate methods for it. One for authenticate result, one for error message, and one for biometric data. And depending on what we get, we are just updating our labels. And here as soon as inside once ready, we have the biometric, we are getting the available biometric, and once that is displayed on button click, I am just calling the authenticate method as well. Also one more important thing, once you are done with the code, make sure you run your application over here, because we need to select our current scene. If you don't select a current scene, then your app might not work. So once it is run, that's fine, the current scene has been set. Just close over here. Next thing which you have to do is, again you will have to go to your Godot project, export, and I already have it open. Then you will have to click on export project. Now make sure you just create a separate folder for this as well, because it will generate lot of files. Create an empty separate folder, so I have already created for it, because otherwise you will get confused on what exactly is what and what is exactly is not. So here inside workspace I have created an empty folder called my iOS folder, and here inside that I am saving this particular file. Now this is not exactly a file, it will create an Xcode project for us. So I will just click on save for now and get back. Once the export is successful, you should see something like this. And also once the export is done, go to your folder where the export is done, and you will have to click on this Xcode proj file. It will open your project inside Xcode. Now here you will have to select the same team for which you have entered the App Store team ID. If you select a different team over here, you will get error. So select the same team over here as well as over here. I'm not going to show you my teams, that's why I haven't not selected it, but yeah, you can select your own teams for now. So the next thing is you just have to click on this run button, and provided your iPad or iPhone is already connected, and here is my output. So if I'll just play this output, I'm not able to mirror my device, that's why I'm not able to show it. Here you can see for label 2 I was able to get fingerprint because that's what I have. and if I click on my button, it asks me for my touch ID. I have entered it wrong the first time. The second time as well I entered it wrong, like I pressed by a separate finger, and once I do it by the correct finger, here you can see in label 1 we are getting success. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.